speaking of like good music, I ain't gonna lie. I guess maybe it's a sign from the universe. Your music then trickled into the algorithm. It's been my algorithm all week from the regular to live from the trap.
No,
I know. Yeah, that's been popping up. I'm like, okay, this is nice. So like,
I didn't know
if you
that.
don't mind me asking, yeah, like, so we didn't talk about it a little bit before, but what made you really say like
I don't mind.
that music? Like I'm
They would
not.
say, what made me say, f it, bro, was just, it was multiple pimples on the face. You know what I'm saying? And it's one thing you got one pimple, you a thug it out. You got two pimples, you know what I'm saying? You probably still thug it out. You got 3 and 4, you probably gonna stay the home. You know what I'm saying? Clean this, split this, let it clear up. You know what I mean? But for me, man, it was just I got in a position where, like I said, some things happened in life, and I couldn't do what I was doing to keep funding the music. You know what I'm saying? And living. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that the financials, it wasn't adding up, bro. Like I was putting so much in. I was putting everything in, and I wasn't gaining. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
And it wasn't because there wasn't a potential for me to gain. It's just like I said, once you get to a certain point where you got a song that's hot, it's spinning, boom. That's one level you conquered. Now you got to go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And it just takes a lot, bro. It takes a lot of money. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And like I said, to do what I was doing wasn't worth the risk for me. Just to be a rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was the circumstance that I had a lot of life going on, bro. And when she got hot around me, I was hot with it. So I was hot. I had my song was hot, but I was also hot in a sense that could have cost me my freedom. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? If this is what I'm doing to do this, but this is putting me and implicating me to might possibly lose my freedom or anything, I'm gonna choose. So I chose life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just that simple.
What about like, aside from the life aspect, what about more in the culture, like dealing with other rappers, promoters, DJs? Like, what do you think your relationships were like with those groups?
My relationship with other rappers was good. Like, 'cause I'm not a person who's intimidated by somebody else's talent. I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I applaud it. I root for this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so for me, that was never a problem, not at all. I'm not intimidated by nobody's talent because at the end of the day, I know I can create records. I wasn't ever intimidated by niggas who could rap their ass off because I know I can make records and they know I can make records. So when you know what you could do for yourself, you least likely to be worried about anybody else's assets or talent. You know what I'm saying? So it was easy for me to be a fan of other people. It was easy for me to support other artists. It was easy for me to root for other artists because I know what I am. You know what I'm saying? Then second of all, I just naturally want to see people win. I want for myself like I want for my brother like I want for myself. You know what I mean? So regardless of what I do in life, that's always been my heart. You feel me? So I don't have room not to see nobody else make it. That's not me. I want to see everybody make it if they can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As well as I want to see my motherfucking self go. You feel me? So, but the other aspect of it was just like, you know, we spoke on different things and opportunities that was supposed to happen, but just fell through the roof. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing on my doing. It was just how the cookie crumbled. A lot of bullshit behind it. You know, and we could talk about KQ, but at the end of the day, man, I'ma say it just wasn't God's will.
Yeah.
For me to go that route, you know what I'm saying, or win that route because it just didn't happen. Yeah, not at the time, it just didn't happen. And the only thing I could have did to change it, like I said, I could have kept going how I was going, but I don't think I'd be here right now. You know what I'm saying? I 9 times 10, because I mean, them people is on your ass. When you on their radar and they come see you, they come looking for you, you might want to stop.
Yeah.
If they just coming to see you, you know what I'm saying? They smell you, but they can't identify. But because when they can identify, they come to get you. So before they came and got me, I just stopped. Because I don't know what the was going on. I don't know what the was on until they came and seen me. But I knew they was looking. Because they was going to places and going to my people and like that. And then certain situations that I was in or tied to, they was in that. People was picking up and all kind of. So it's like, I just chose life, bro. Like this ain't worth it. I don't want to go to jail to be a rapper.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying?
a lot of times that's what it seems like it take to make it.
Like a motherfucker. Yeah, I'm boo.
Yeah.
I go another route.
So what you think about that versus, man? Cash Money, No Limit. Who you think won?
Make them say,
Yeah, that was a live versus.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Mystical locked up.
Yeah.
But other than that, he was able to bring everybody together. When you talk about leadership, a lot of times it ain't about who got the most. It's who's able to hold the most together. And I think if Mystical would have been free, he definitely would have been on that stage. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, and then the cold part was he didn't need to be on the stage for No Limit to hold his own.
Yeah, it was turned.
Mystical would have been overkill. And when he brought out Snoop, and Snoop actually, look, go watch the verses. Everybody who perform and do showcases, go watch the verses of how Snoop performed. He performed the show set. They turned his vocals down and Snoop rapped. And think about all the thousands of songs Snoop got with other artists. And then that lets you know to a like him how pivotal No Limit was to him. Because out of all them hits Snoop got, that remembered every motherfucking word to his verse. And other verses on the song.
Oh, yeah, no, for real.
What?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. No, so it's no shade on Baby, but when we talk about leadership, I'm giving it to. They came with the energy. They was humble. They showed. They was. You could tell that they showed much more respect to Cash Money than Cash Money showed to them. Because every time they says, man, it was New Orleans, shout out to Cash Money, it's like they never tried to make it seem like they was over Cash Money, but they was all on the same playing field as far as a culture that just took over the fucking world, you know what I'm saying, of New Orleans. And it was more, I liked it that perspective. It was a higher mentality and a higher frequency with No Limit than over here, than Cash Money. You know what I'm saying? Now, on the flip side, Juvie, I'm a Juvie. I think Juvie is like one of the most, and I met Juvie a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I was able to, like, he was a real bro. Real player, cool.
Yeah.
But he's about Benny, he's serious. But like, he real recognized real, and he a cool, you know what I'm saying? So, but hit from hit, Cash Money got them hits. They got hits. They got global hits. When we talk about like the culture and just like, I don't know, just No Limit brought that like that, the Southern crunk, if you want to say that. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like the era that kind of I marinated in, you feel me? Yeah. But it was just, man, the energy, bro. Yeah, when you just look at the energy and the camaraderie, you couldn't tell if anybody had a problem with anybody.
What you think about when Birdman took the mic? He said, Turk, call him a...
Man, like I said, bro, well, I ain't said, but I commented somebody, they was like, woo, woo. Man, look, as a man, you got the right to feel how you feel, be how you be. That's your choice. Now, is it tasteful? It was very distasteful. It was petty. You too old to be that petty. That was some real petty. You know what I mean? But when I look beneath the eye, it looked like misplaced love. Because when he went to his run, I met these guys, I'm blah, 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 trying to be something legal and woo, woo. And I met BG. You could hear that. You could hear the love, even when he mentioned Turk. But then I think that subconscious was like that. Like it's like a woman, a female who you got love for, but like she hurt you. You know what I'm saying?
Remember why you was mad at her.
You feel me? Or a female who got dogged out by a like, man. And so every time you mention that name, it ain't no hate, but then it's some bitterness. And that's exactly what it is. It sounded, Birdman sounded very bitter. You know what I'm saying? And because at the end of the day, Cash Money is his baby. You know what I'm saying? He might as well could have, impregnated the game and the baby would have been Cash Money. That's his baby. You feel me? That was his dream. That's what saved him in the streets. So that's his baby. So each person a part of that faction, in essence, is his baby. You know what I'm saying? He hurt. But
he can't get past it.
He heard about it, but you know that when you hurt, that determines what type of man you is based on your response. You know what I'm saying? I think it was very mature for BG not to. He ain't say nothing. He like laughed. It sounded like he laughed or whatever, but he ain't join in on the fuck Turk party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think if anything, that would have been more. I would have expected that more from BG than Birdman. But that just lets you know, like, don't be knowing how to deal with they hurt, bro. Cause it's love, but it's up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What no hate. We'll fuck with you when we fuck with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a motherfucker who bitter and needs some time for whatever the fuck they bitter about.
Well, we fuck with you though.
But we fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it basically was saying. So that's misplaced. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's a who don't know what to do with his feelings.